The eighth and final season of Fear the Walking Dead opens with a 7-year time jump and a new survivor who is attempting to forge her own path. Since its premiere in 2015, the first Walking Dead spinoff has surely had both very good and extremely horrible periods. Many fans and critics found Season 7 to be unappealing, but Season 8 already seems to be moving in the right direction. The Season 8 premiere, despite some dubious dialogue and character decisions, is a good beginning to a semi-satisfying end. Sometime after the Season 7 conclusion, the Season 8 opener titled, "Remember What They Took From You," begins in Padre's headquarters on an island. Morgan Jones is being questioned by the voice of Padre, who is unseen and gives a tiresome sermon about creating a new world that won't crumble like the old one, which nearly never ends well in the world of the Walking Dead. Following the revelation by Padre that they discovered the majority of the survivors on the rafts and a questioning that involved hearing Baby Mo's screams on a baby monitor, Morgan and Madison Clark, the resurrected Kim Dickens, surprise the Padre soldiers. Madison demands Morgan discover Mo while holding the secret Padre at gunpoint. Ren, an 8-year-old girl, is placed in the circle pit with other kids and teenagers for training 7 years later. But when she experiences nightmares, she is unable to slay the Toothless Walker, covered in neon green Nickelodeon slime, failing Padre in the process. Dove, a different girl, argues that Ren is too young to be training, but Ren is adamant about being prepared for her trial. Dove agrees to train Ren in exchange for Ren doing her duties for a month. When it comes to carrying out their arrangement, Ren's curiosity prevails. Ren discovers Madison imprisoned in a torture chamber reminiscent of Frankenstein's laboratory, while carrying oxygen tanks to a basement. Madison, also known as Lark, has been imprisoned for what seems like a very long period, as seen by the numerous tallies on the wall, her drained demeanor, and her refusal to eat. Shrike and another soldier arrive later to draw Madison's blood in accordance with their weekly plan. Madison attempts to shoot herself but is unsuccessful. Although the reason Padre is still keeping Madison alive is unknown, it most likely has to do with her blood. Ren informs Dove that she wants to continue her training to aid Padre in establishing their future on the mainland after her close call with Madison. Beginning to resemble a rip-off of the Commonwealth, Padre has a strange fascination with kidnapping. While Fear the Walking Dead has yet to explain why, it is known why Madison was imprisoned. After using a sledgehammer to kill over a dozen guards and nearly killing Padre 7 years ago to aid Morgan and Baby Mo in escaping, she gained quite the reputation. As Ren and Dove start their training, it's surprising to see how much better Ren is with the staff than she was in the circle. At this point, everything makes sense. Madison is asked to assist Ren in killing Carrion with a sledgehammer that is 2 times her size, adding yet another ludicrous zombie term to the vocabulary of the world of the Walking Dead. Madison deceives Ren and uses a piece of glass to try to murder herself instead. However, she discovers that Ren is actually Mo, who has been raised with Padre's beliefs and is unaware of her original parents. Madison kidnaps Mo, kills 2 soldiers, and promises to take her as far away from the Padre as she can. In what might be some of the best cinematography Fear the Walking Dead has seen in years, Madison leads Mo out into the swamps. 2 of the most obstinate survivors of the end of the world find it out throughout the remainder of the episode. Madison, who only has 1 oxygen tank to help her breathe, wants to uphold her pledge to Morgan, but Mo insists on going back to Padre. Naturally, since this is Fear the Walking Dead, walkers are always a concern. Madison's oxygen tank is cracked, and Mo is still experiencing memories that keep her from murdering walkers. However, this time she hears her mother Grace singing to her. Nevertheless, despite their setbacks, Madison finds the time to tell Mo that it's okay to feel terrified, because she's just 8 years old. Moments like these reveal the more mature, sympathetic Madison, who endured for her children, who are currently thought to be both dead. A gray-haired Morgan, who is now a collector for Padre, and goes by the alias Nightingale, meets Madison and Mo in the midst of a fight like a knight in deteriorating armor. In a cruel turn of events that simultaneously undermines Madison and pays homage to Alicia, Morgan surrendered Mo to Padre 7 years ago, following his abortive escape. Even though it is now clear that a 7-year time jump has occurred, the phrase 7 years ago is repeated to the audience. In contrast to what he had anticipated, Mo insisted on calling his daughter Ren and swatted his hand away during the reunion. But he doesn't mind because he intends to bring Mo back to Padre for her own protection. Padre informs Morgan via the walkie-talkie that Madison has turned into a liability. Morgan has Madison in his sights, but he is unable to make the shot. Maybe he wants to be a better version of himself for Mo, or maybe he owes Nick and Alicia something. The three retreat further into the swamps as a Walker herd approaches in order to take cover in the partially submerged cabin that Morgan and Mo hid in 7 years ago until Padre discovered them. Mo discovers graffiti in the cabin that reads, "You were supposed to, Jenny, Duane, and King County." Fans of The Walking Dead will recognize these as the names of Morgan's wife and son, who passed away in King County under his supervision years ago. Morgan won't respond to Mo's inquiries regarding the graffitis since she is still traumatized from their deaths. Madison tries to keep the corpses away from Morgan and Mo as walkers ambush the cabin. Grace rescues everyone by swooping in on a boat. She is startled to see an adult Mo, but keeps her distance. The four arrive at the shore, where Grace confesses she has been looking after Padre's radio towers. Mo no longer desires to go back to the island when she calls for them to take her there. She desires to be in her parental home. Due to his friendship with Mo, Morgan loses his collective status when Padre removed Madison and Mo. Madison tells Mo to remember what they took from you, which sends her on a quest to find the identity Padre stole from her.